Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the first of what's probably going to be a series of daily update videos. Think of it like this. It's kind of like a pre-stream without a stream, alright? And, if you may be wondering why am I doing this, where is the streaming gone, etc., well, you must have been living under a rock because of all the nonsense that happened this week. I'm not going to go into it in this video, because that is not the purpose of this video. I've already fully explained everything that's been going on in two previous videos this week. The main one is now featured on my DSPGaming channel as of the time that I post this video, so I strongly recommend, if you're interested in knowing what's going on with me, with DSPGaming, the future of the channel, you should check out that video, okay? The purpose of this video is to kind of talk a little bit about myself, about what's been going on, give anyone an update if there are any updates available, for each day appropriately that I cannot live stream, and give you all kinds of, updates on content and such, on how I'm doing. Because typically I would do this on pre-stream. And now I don't have that opportunity because I cannot stream on YouTube. So first of all, let's get everything out of the way here. First of all, life goes on. Even though I cannot live stream right now, at least via YouTube, it doesn't mean that the content stops. It doesn't mean that I stop gaming. As a gamer, as a content provider, as a YouTuber, things move on. You don't just let yourself get caught up in the negative and the nonsense. No, you got to progress forward. And that's what we're doing here today. We're not going to be letting these things hold us up. So regardless of the fact that I can't live stream, I will still be daily making videos. Pretty much just as much as I used to. Alright, no real difference here. If anything, the only real difference is I may be able to upload videos a little more quickly, since I'm not live streaming any game that's not online, that doesn't need an internet connection. I should be able to maybe take a break and start videos uploading while I'm still capturing. So for new games, right, for games coming up, for example, Until Dawn coming out this Monday, where I was going to do a special, release stream. Instead of streaming, I'll be playing it as soon as it's available, and then maybe uploading videos even earlier than I had intended originally. So there you have it. A little bit of maybe silver lining to the dark cloud. So let's talk a little bit, because unfortunately, because of what's been going on this week, taking up a lot of my time, I spent a lot of time this week, sadly, deleting videos or making videos private and trying to make sure that the content that I've put out over the past, 5 years, because DSPGaming has been around since April of 2010, right? So making sure that all of that content is safe and that it doesn't go away, and that you have no inability to watch it because the channel could get taken down for false bullshit. I've been doing a lot of work, hours of work. 2 times this week, in fact. I spent around 3+ hours during the day doing that, deleting videos or making them private, and because of that, I wasn't able to game when I was supposed to be gaming. And that's disappointing, I know. For example, right here, game right here, Just Cause 2. I know a lot of people wanted to see me play this game. I was going to do 2 full sessions of the game this week, meaning another 6+ hours of gameplay. The first session got reduced to an hour, and I don't even know if there's going to be a second session, quite honestly. Because of what's been going on recently, it may hinder my ability to play the game any further. What I'm going to try to do is squeeze it in. So what I'll do here is let me go through a really quick summary of what I'm planning to do for the next few days, so that everyone's in the know, and schedule-wise, okay? And then I'll talk a little bit more about the status of everything going on with my YouTube channels, just so you know, all right? So schedule-wise, it is currently Friday, August 21st? Yes, August 21st. No. Yes. Yes, it is. I am so confused. Yes, today is August 21st, 2015. And what that means is that today we're going to be doing more Fallout New Vegas, as I had planned, with a 3-hour session. Of course, it will be offline videos, not streaming, but I will upload all those videos to DSPGaming, add them to the playlist afterwards. Tonight, I'm going to be playing Metroid Prime for around 2 hours or so. And we are in the end game now of Metroid Prime. Apparently, there's basically a collection quest that I need to do, and then it basically leads into the end game. People are saying it's about 3 to 4 hours of more gameplay, so probably 2 more sessions of that game, and I'll wrap it up. So tonight will be one of those sessions. So today, Friday, expect new Fallout New Vegas vids and new Metroid vids on DSPGaming. Tomorrow, Saturday, is going to be the conclusion of the Godfather cooperative playthrough that Leanna and I have been doing for the past month and a half. We were kind of had it up in the air as to whether or not we were going to maybe try to stretch it out and do extra side content in this playthrough or not. We've decided we are not going to. In particular, because at this point, because of all the nonsense that happened this past week, I'm already behind on everything else. You know, I'm already behind 2-3 sessions of streaming and or gameplay. So we really, unfortunately, don't have the time to stretch out the playthrough to do more side content. So this Saturday will be the final session of The Godfather, where we will be probably doing, you know, a couple more assassination missions and then leading into the end of the game, which is only like 1 or 2 more story missions. And that will finally conclude. I want to say thank you to those of you who, for the duration of the summer here, right? Late July throughout August, those of you who tuned in. It's been a fun thing to be able to do an ongoing playthrough with Leanna. I hope you understand it was for variety of purposes and for us to be able to have some kind of a project that we can work on together. You know, a lot of people don't realize it, but outside of maybe spending a couple hours a day, you know, eating meals and doing chores or maybe watching a little bit of television or whatever at night, we don't really do that much besides once a week we go out and do some errands and maybe do a little bit of shopping and go out to dinner. It's not like we have days off. I don't. I stream or, you know, used to stream. Now, you know, still continuing making video content every day. So I don't have that flexibility like I used to when I lived in Connecticut. And for 3 weeks out of the month, I you know, worked my ass off, but then a whole week, Leanna and I would just go out and do stuff together. We don't do that anymore. So it was actually a lot of fun to be able to do a cooperative playthrough with her throughout the last month and a half. And in particular, The Godfather was a surprisingly good game. I'd never played it, and I actually really enjoyed it. So thank you to those of you who have checked it out. If you haven't yet, I strongly recommend that you do. It's actually, in my opinion, one of the most refreshing playthroughs I've done, because not only is there a co-op commentary for the first time in a year, but it's also pretty fun because she knows a lot about the game. She played it before. And, of course, she razzes me and gives me a hard time when I screw up and stuff. And a lot of people enjoyed that. They're like, wow, it's almost like I'm sitting on the couch with Phil because she's razzing him just like, you know, I would razz him if I were watching him playing this game in person. So check it out. It's a good playthrough, okay? There'll also be a new DSP Tries It released on Saturday over on the King of Hate Vlogs channel. And I'm going to be putting up 2 collectibles for sale / auction this week. Tomorrow, Saturday, I'll be putting up the walkthrough videos of those on the King of Hate vlogs as well. I think one is going to be more of a kind of like a cosplay prop, and the other may or may not be a statue, or I may put up 2 kind of props this week, depending on what I decide. You'll find out, obviously, when I put up the videos tomorrow. So check those out. Especially, I made an Instagram post 2 days ago showing off the things that we're planning on selling. And if you're interested in any of those, yes, the next couple of weeks, those will all be going up for auction. So you're definitely going to want to check out those videos, okay? Sunday is going to be the conclusion of Metroid Prime. So by hook or by crook, however long it takes me, I'm setting aside Sunday for me to beat Metroid Prime, which is good because typically on Sunday I do a 3-hour or more stream of gameplay. So if I don't get too far tonight in Metroid Prime, Sunday I will, you know, really dedicate myself to beating the game. So that's coming up this coming Sunday. All right. And Sunday night, of course, I will be releasing the weekend preview. And that's going to be an important one because it's going to explain how I'm going to be doing stuff this whole next week. I'm obviously not going to cover the whole thing right now. I'm only giving you a little taste. The weekend preview will cover this whole week, especially because I probably still won't be able to stream. Monday. Monday's going to be an incredibly busy day, so listen up. Monday, my first gameplay session is going to be Fallout New Vegas. And this is going to be the final time that I'm actually playing Fallout New Vegas for a while because I'm going to be really busy with the new games coming out. And even though I may be able to squeeze in Fallout New Vegas 1 or 2 times in the next couple of weeks, I don't want to promise it. I'm just officially telling you Monday is the last time I'm promising a session of Fallout New Vegas for a while until we get a little bit more calmed down with the new releases coming out in the next few weeks, okay? So that's going to be first. Then, here's the thing. Typically, when I do gameplay, I play till around 4 p.m. Around 4:30, I upload the videos around 4:30ish, and I eat dinner. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, that sounds early." Well, keep in mind we're from the East Coast, so for us that's kind of like 7:30 p.m. So around 7:30 p.m., we eat dinner. It's 4:30 p.m. here, local time, and then I usually start playing at around 6:30, 7 p.m. my time for around 2 to 3 hours. So typically, on a normal day, I'd be playing from around 6:30, 7 p.m. to say 9:30. And then I would upload those videos. The thing is, this coming Monday is the release of Until Dawn. It is this suspenseful horror game starring Hollywood actors such as Hayden Panettiere. And I'm excited to try it out. I haven't really played a survival horror game in a while, at least a modern one. I've played some classics over the past year like Code Veronica, but I haven't really played a modern survival horror game when you really think about it. When was the last one that came out? It was last year, right? Near the end of the year, we had Alien, whatever it was called, Alien Isolation, and then we had The Evil Within. But besides those games, there hasn't been a true survival horror game in a while. And apparently this game is interesting with different characters that you can play as or have survive or die. Kind of similar to Heavy Rain. Certain characters can survive or die depending on your choices in the game and how you play it. It certainly seems like a unique game and a game that lends itself to multiple playthroughs. And that's going to be my focus all week. And I'm going to be doing a special launch event for Until Dawn. I'll be playing it at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern time, as soon as it's released on PlayStation Network. So I'm going to be recording, and probably what I'll do is I'll play for maybe an hour or so. And as long as I cannot stream, which, right now I still cannot, I'll be uploading those videos relatively quickly to DSPGaming. So if you're interested in this new game, you want to see almost like it's like an old school midnight release. What I used to do before I streamed, I would record, an hour and then upload that first batch of videos to DSPGaming. People will get all excited because it's almost relatively this moment the game was live. And then I would gradually release more over the course of the night. That's what I'll do. I'll do it like old school Phil, And certainly I apologize to those of you who wanted to see this game live streamed. That was my intention originally. But hey, when life gives you lemons, you stomp the fuck out of the lemons, and then you buy some delicious drink somewhere else, So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to say, screw it, I can't live stream, but let's go back to the old way that used to be successful, record, and then, every hour or so maybe batch up a new queue of videos. And let's be honest, being that it is kind of a silly survival horror game, I may have a couple drinks while I'm playing. Typically, every couple days or maybe once or twice a week I have a drink now. It's a lot less than I used to. I used to drink like a fucking fish, which was ridiculous how much I used to drink. I admit, it was way too much. Now, because of all my health issues and everything, I've reduced the amount that I drink by a lot. But what I might do is have a couple drinks during this launch event of Until Dawn on Monday night. And, I'm only going to play for a few hours. It's not going to be like it used to be where I play it all fucking night. That's silly because I want to play it the next day, too. So maybe I'll maybe play for like 3 hours. And I'll have that video footage uploaded to DSPGaming, and then I'll resume the next day, okay? But anyway, that's what's going to be Monday. Now, here's the thing. Let's say that I finish up with Fallout on Monday. I have dinner, and for whatever reason, there's a few hours of downtime. I may do a final session of Just Cause 2. Because I know there were people who were enjoying that playthrough, especially because I was getting better at the game. And not that I promised it would be a full playthrough. I always said it would be very limited, the amount of gameplay that I did of the game. But I know I was getting better at the game, and it was getting a lot more fun. I was learning the maneuverability of the zip line and the parachute. And, I was going to do 2 full sessions of it this week, 6 hours. And I only played an hour, and I never even uploaded that footage, by the way. It's not uploaded yet, purposely, because I wanted to save it up and upload it when I had, more of it. I want to do like a full session, not just 3 videos. So if I have time, I'm not promising this, but there is a chance this Monday that after dinner, I may for an hour or two play a little bit more Just Cause 2 and upload that as well. So this Monday could be pretty packed. You're going to have Fallout New Vegas footage, Just Cause 2 footage, and Until Dawn footage, all going live on DSPGaming, okay? And then depending on what happens, Until Dawn will be continuing on Tuesday and Wednesday, and possibly even all day Thursday. Keep in mind that Thursday, though, which is Thursday, August 27th, will be an episode of Ask the King. And again, since I can't live stream, it'll be offline, but I will be uploading it to YouTube like I always do, in 2 or 3 portions. And, you know, no difference there. I don't really have any interactivity with the stream anyway when I do Ask the King, so that's really not going to affect anything on that show. It'll pretty much be the typical show that I put out for you over on the King of Hate vlog. So I basically got 2 days to focus on Until Dawn this week, then half a day, because I'll be playing the first half of the day will be Ask the King, the second half of the day will be Until Dawn on Thursday. And then Friday, I'll have one more session of Until Dawn. Depending on how long the game is, we don't know. Because after playing it, let's say 3 hours Monday, 5 hours Tuesday, 5 hours Wednesday, and another 2 hours on Thursday, maybe I'll be completely done with the game. I don't know how long it is. Like I said, it seems like it lends itself to multiple playthroughs, so maybe I'll do multiple playthroughs during the course of the week to try to get different options. But then I'm announcing this for the first time right now. I'll flesh it out more in the weekend preview later in the week. Friday night, there'll be no second session of gameplay / second stream, depending on when my streaming capability comes back, because we're going to be going out and doing our errands and going to dinner and doing that stuff that we typically do, grocery shopping, Friday night, because Saturday is Leanna's birthday, and we're going to be going out on Saturday to celebrate in the city of Seattle. So Saturday, there will be no new gameplay, and it's going to be a day away, but we may be vlogging. We'll probably vlog the trip, vlog the stuff that we do during her birthday. So that'll be fun. And then I'll be returning, you know, Sunday, Monday, I'll be returning back to regular gameplay. Keep in mind that coming Tuesday, September 1st, there's multiple new releases with Mad Max and Metal Gear Solid 5. Again, I'll flesh this out a little bit more in detail in the weekend preview. I just want to kind of give you a brief summary of what to expect coming up in the next few days, okay? All right, and now to finish this first of probably a series of daily updates, I'm sure people are wondering, Phil, what's going on with the status of the King of Hate vlogs? What's going on with the status of DSPGaming with these false copyright strikes that you've gotten against your account? What's the result of your discussions with Machinima, etc.? Okay. First of all, I don't have any definitive news for you, meaning I don't have, oh, on this date things will be cleared up, and I can't say, oh, you know, we're going to have this kind of concrete result. I don't have that. What I can tell you is this. I can't tell you 100% what's going on because I've been advised not to, actually. But what I can tell you is this. Machinima is incredibly upset that this is happening because I am under their managed partnership system. And legally, they're just as liable as I am, being that I'm a managed partner. So any copyright strikes or whatever that happens against DSPGaming is basically a copyright strike against Machinima. And if Machinima gets a certain quota of copyright strikes against them, you know, they get in trouble too. That's how this managed partnership system has always worked. So they're just as pissed as I am. And they looked at the information. They said it's completely bogus. They have a legal department. Their lawyers looked at all the information and said, no, these are not valid copyright claims. Yes, they are definitively 100% going to get cleared up, and that I have nothing to worry about. Of course, I said, but I do have something to worry about because I can't live stream right now. And you know, God forbid that another one of these things is in the pipeline and actually goes through and somehow hits my DSPGaming channel again, or even the King of Hate vlogs, and shuts the channels down because they're bogus claims against them now. But you get 3 strikes, your channel gets shut down temporarily. And they said, don't worry about it. They're working on it. They're working directly with YouTube to not only get them cleared up, but to get other safeguards in place. And that I shouldn't be worried. Worst case scenario, if it does happen, there's other options we can discuss. You know, emergency options about having my videos still going up on YouTube, just somewhere else other than whatever channel if one gets shut down. And basically, that it's just a matter of time. The real problem here, the core of the problem with everything is YouTube. Because YouTube, quite honestly, and I know that if anyone, you know, from YouTube ever heard me say this, they'd be upset. Tough shit. They're a bunch of pussies. They always have been. They're massively afraid of litigation. They're massively afraid of getting involved in anything of a lawsuit whatsoever. And so they shoot first and ask questions later. Now, in a court of law, this isn't what happens. The American law system is that you're innocent until proven guilty. But YouTube's system for copyright is you're guilty until proven innocent. So basically, the people who put these strikes against my channels don't legally have a leg to stand on, as told to me by lawyers. Okay, but YouTube doesn't give a shit because it's a bunch of robots in an automated system. So because they're so afraid of litigation, right, they have this system in place, and it basically takes 10 business days by their standard methods to get even a blatantly false copyright strike removed from your account. So worst case scenario, okay, absolute worst case scenario, I should have everything cleared up by, say, the middle of the first week of September. But Machinima, because they have clout with YouTube, is talking to YouTube and trying to get it cleared up. And hopefully we'll have it cleared up before then. If they don't, who cares? I'm still going to be putting out daily videos. Again, I apologize to those of you who've kind of gotten used to watching my streams daily. Obviously, you know, everyone's doing everything they can. It's all on YouTube now to stop dragging their fucking feet and actually do some work instead of letting everything be run by automated robots, and to actually have their legal team do something within 10 business days, which in my... just think about that. 10 business day response to have a business shut down. But that's YouTube. Because they figure that's the amount of time they would need if they legally needed to protect their ass from anything. They probably did all these behind-the-scenes calculations, right? Well, if we actually were going to get sued, if we have a 10 business day buffer, we can get things in place to protect ourselves. Because ultimately, all it comes down to is Google and YouTube are trying to protect themselves. They really don't care about the copyright rights of anyone. They don't. They just care about protecting themselves. And that's a shame that a business that 100% has made its money off of the work of others, right? YouTube puts out no original content. Everything on YouTube is the hard work of others. That business doesn't care about protecting those people. It only cares about protecting itself. But that's the reality, and that's, you know, I've dealt with this since 2010. Remember in 2010 when my Dark Side Phil channel had the same exact bullshit happen to it? And I had to create a new channel, DSPGaming. It's the same exact situation 5 years later. YouTube made no effort whatsoever to put any safeguards in place to protect anyone, and they only care about themselves. That's the bottom, or else they'd actually jump on a situation like this and say, wow, a channel that, you know, a person who's made YouTube videos for 7 years, 5 years on this channel, never had an issue with copyright. It's blatantly false per legal counsel, but we don't care. We're still going to drag our feet, you know. That's it. They don't care. You know, it's a shame. But that's the bottom line is I am a slave to YouTube because this is the go-to place for video on-demand content. It's going to become the go-to place for video streaming. And, you know, I'm stuck with them. So it is what it is. You know, 5 years ago, people said, Phil, why don't you go host your own videos on your own website? Yeah, it's never going to happen because it's incredibly expensive. I don't have the know-how to do it. The amount of content that I put out and the amount of videos that I put out. By the way, I did the calculations. I've put out about over 47,000 videos since I started on YouTube. Since 7 years, I've created 47,000 videos. I don't think I could host those on a server. It would probably cost tens of thousands of dollars to do so. And of course, I'd have to have my own legal team to handle legal issues of anyone who tries to hit us with copyright shit. And, you know, it's just not going to happen. It's just not viable. I've never made enough money doing this. You know, if I were a huge corporation, if I were PewDiePie and I made millions of dollars a year, yeah, I could probably afford it. But even PewDiePie, the biggest YouTuber, doesn't do it. Because, let's face it, YouTube has the recognition. They have the name recognition. They are the go-to place for on-demand video content, period. I've tried. Remember, I tried Blip TV and other things. It was very hard to get anyone to try to go to another place. YouTube is the go-to place. I am a slave to YouTube, and it's ridiculously insane, unfair copyright policies, anti-user policies, and I always will be. As long as I choose to do this, I always will be, you know, and that's why I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to stomp my feet. And, you know, I used to, remember how angry I got years ago when this shit happened to me? And now I'm a lot different because I'm more, not that I'm less angry about it or less upset about it. It's just that there's no reason to get so upset and to let it distract and detract from you doing positive stuff when you know it just is what it is. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I'm going to continue moving forward positively. I'm going to be making videos daily. I'm going to be uploading. Don't worry. I've been assured by Machinima it's going to get cleared up. I will get all my capabilities back. It's just a matter of time. They're working on trying to get everything back as soon as possible. I may even before the copyright strikes are lifted, I may get my streaming capability back. They're trying for that right now. Okay, but we don't know. I'll let you know. If I know, you'll know. Let's put it that way. If I get good news, I'll share it, and you'll have the good news. I'm not going to hold good news back or anything from you. And for right now, what we'll do these daily updates. I'll keep you in the loop on what's going on with me. And we'll keep uploading videos, and we'll keep having fun. Okay, everyone? So I thank you very much for being patient. I apologize for those who were daily stream viewers that the streams are gone. They will be back eventually. I'm still going to be covering all the new releases. just like old times, right? So we're going back to 2008 to 2012 now, before I ever live streamed in early 2013. We're going back to the old ways, and I hope you enjoy it. A lot of people have always said, I wish Phil would go back to the old ways. Well, you got your wish at least for a week or so here until things get a little bit cleared up. So, all right, that is it, everyone. I thank you. I'm going to get to gameplay now, okay? Oh, I actually, incidentally, I just got an email from YouTube saying that they've processed one of my counter notifications. So, FYI, everything's in process. I don't know if that's a sign that Machinima got anything working or not, but we'll see. But anyway, moving forward positively, thank you for watching this daily update. They probably won't be this long in the future. I just had a lot to cover today. And thanks for watching the content. A lot of people have said, how can we support you, Phil? It's very simple. It's very simple. Watch the content. Spread the word about my videos. Say, listen, Phil's putting out good stuff. Check it out, okay? Continue to interact with me on social media. I love it. I love having daily contact with everyone via Twitter or whatever. And, you know, if you can, consider pledging to Patreon, although it's certainly not necessary, but it certainly helps. And it allows me to continue to do this full time and improve my content. And, you know, on a week like this when I couldn't work 3 times when I was supposed to because I was deleting and making videos private, it certainly helps. Patreon.com/DarksidePhil. And, of course, you get cool perks out of that. I'll mention that closer to the end of the month. I'm not going to go too much into detail right now. But those are the ways you can support. Watch, spread the word, be positive, participate in social media, and Patreon if you can. And that's it, everyone. Thanks a lot for watching. And I'm going to get to gameplay. Peace out.